Trust in politicians has fallen to an all-time low, and with an election just weeks away, the worry is lots of people won't even bother to vote.
So the onus is on the candidates to get out and convince us, not necessarily at public meetings or village halls, but down the pub. This report is from our political correspondent Andrew Sinclair.
It's mid-evening in a pub in mid-Norfolk, and among the regulars is a man who'd like to be their next MP.
But once you destroy trust, rebuilding it is really hard, and it requires...
George Freeman has spent the past few months dropping into pubs to chat with voters about anything they like. For many, he's the first politician they've ever met.
Even though it's our money that we've given to them, you can't have it back. You can if you want to pay 21% on a personal loan.
My pension has been annihilated. The public sector pensions are secured.
How are you going to sell this government to the mixture of people you've got in this pub tonight?
People are angry. They want to vent their frustration, and you have to take it on the chin and listen. Politics is broken and trust is broken, and rebuilding trust is hard. And one of the things all of us involved have to do is start back at the grassroots.
I think we should all do it, because I think we've gone miles away from the fact that we actually, as the public, who go to work, and we employ them to do a job on our behalf.
We all tick the boxes and we all make decisions on who we want to vote in. But do we know those people? Hardly.
Politicians are so unpopular at the moment, there is a very real fear that the turnout at this election will be an all-time low, which is why those who want to be elected to Westminster are trying every technique possible to reconnect with the voters.
They've really put quite a lot of effort into promoting tourism.
Labour has borrowed an idea from America, holding house meetings like this one in Stevenage. Floating voters are invited round for tea, and a government minister drops in for a private chat.
People perhaps feeling that they can open up a little more than at, say, public meetings, where people might feel a little bit worried or shy about speaking out.
The Green Party's candidate in Norwich takes a table and chair to the shopping centre and meets the public, while invitations to speak to first-time voters like these at Fakenham College are readily accepted.
I think younger people don't understand politics as much as they probably should do.
There's a lot of political point scoring, which maybe, you know, if that's reduced, it'd get people believing in it a little bit more.
It's not been a good time for politicians. If you're trying to sell politics as a product, the last couple of years wouldn't have been the time to try and do it, quite honestly.
There is still a big gulf between the public and politicians. Some are trying to bridge the gap, but they'd be the first to admit there's still a long way to go. Andrew Sinclair, BBC Look East.
When you're a young band trying to make your name, it can be tough to get good venues to play in. But now groups in Norfolk are going out of their way to find unusual locations.
It's all part of a project for BBC Norfolk Introducing Week. It's a radio programme showcasing the best new local music. So how's this for rock and roll? The staff canteen at John Lewis. The details from our entertainment reporter, Dawn Gerber.
You'll see something different, but it isn't even this.
They're called Uncle Stash, and last month the group jazzed up the staff canteen at the John Lewis store in Norwich.
I thought it went really well. It was quite interesting not to play in a venue for a change. It's a different kind of age group. It's a different crowd than everyone's kind of really civilised.
It was quite nice to have a bit of music while you eat your lunch for a change. It gives you a bit more flavour of what's around in Norfolk and around in Norwich in terms of the music scene.
It's good that we've got something going on up here and trying to promote some of the up-and-coming bands as well, so definitely one that we might be able to do again.
BBC Norfolk introducing.
They say she's in the class
19-year-old Ed Sheeran from Framlingham in Suffolk has toured with many bands, including Just Jack. He was asked to play at a private house gig in Norwich a few weeks ago.
I'm Lauren, I'm here in my house on Durham Road, and tonight I'm lucky enough to have Ed Sheeran playing here at my house. Basically got in touch and he said yeah, so that was how it came about.
Angels fly.
It's just a very, very good way to network, because if I do a gig in, say, Sheffield, house gig to 30 people, those 30 people might tell 10 other people who will come to a gig.
I've just signed with Elton John's management, so that's very exciting. Sticking out a single through Universal in about 4 months, so that's also quite exciting. And I'm off to LA to do songwriting for people as well. Angels to fly, to fly, to fly.
BBC Norfolk introducing.
The medieval Church of St James is not only home to the Norwich Puppet Theatre, it's becoming a popular venue for musicians. Singer Rory McVicker recently held a launch party there for his latest album called Another Sleepless Night.
And to find out more about the band and see a longer version of that film, go to the BBC Norfolk website. There it is.
Now, this is official. I did say to Jim that the weather was atrocious. He said, no, indifferent.
Yes, well, indifferent, it doesn't matter too much, I think.